Hello everyone and welcome to our ECMWF.int live forecast on July 12th, 2025. It's Saturday and it's a hot day. So starting off as usual with our pressure anomaly for week 1. That is from Monday, July 14th to the following Monday, July 21st. In this week we have strong high pressure centered to the north. Around Iceland, Scandinavia, and Greenland. Also, the Azores High will be ridging in towards Iberia and France. And as I said yesterday, we have a low pressure sandwich. We got low through the Atlantic Ocean and into Ireland and the UK. So it should be cooler and wetter. This high pressure is the system that brought us the fine week and weekend, hot on the weekend, slack southeasterly flow, but by Monday, this trough of low pressure to the west will be the key factor in the weather. Whether or not these two ridges sort of combine to form like a big area of high pressure, yet to be discovered. But these two ridges, these two highs are on the chart. They are trying to link together, so we'll see about that. Here is the temperature forecast from the ECMWF.int chart for the week. Anomalies are still actually quite a bit above average. So let's see how that goes. I have some doubts about that, but if we do see a high ridge in here, we might see that. And here is the precip anomaly from ECM for week 1. That makes sense. Thoroughly above average, westerly winds, low in charge. But could be a bit drier and warmer if these two ridges connects. Here is week 2, July 21st to 28th. Here we go. And once again, we got that block to the north around Iceland, Greenland, Canada. Also an area of low pressure far away from us over Russia. And a central European high as well. Making the heat bills over Central and Southern Europe. I'm assuming that this white area here, over Ireland, the UK, France possibly, and that towards the Azores, could be an area of lower pressure. Again, we could be seeing a low pressure sandwich. Here is week 2's temperature anomaly. So it's still well above average, especially in the east of the country. So yeah, despite a possibly more changeable signal, the ECM seems to be keeping things very warm, and the week 2 rainfall anomaly looks above average. Probably makes sense due to that white area. So what happened is that white area probably be a trough, jet stream through that sort of region there, and it's quite wet. Week 3 is July 28th to August 4th. Very weak signals. We have got an area of high pressure to our west, but it is quite far away to the west. So if anything, that would tell me that we could be into a westerly or northwesterly airflow by start of August. On the GFS run today, we did see that sort of signal towards late July. We see the Azores High getting more displaced to the west actually, and dropping in more of a cooler flow from northwest. So, there are signs of a cooler end to July, start of August. So week 3 temperature anomaly, well, obviously long way off, but just to say. So temperature anomaly for week 3, it is lowering. Still yes, above average, but is lowering. And the week 3 rainfall anomaly, above average. So I'm assuming that that high to the west, yeah, it does correspond with dry anomalies there. And we got this area of wet anomalies from Greenland down through here. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw the jet stream and the wind flow on a northwest to southeast alignments with this pattern here. So probably a cool and wet transition of month here. Week 4 is August 4th to 11th. Obviously, that date there, August 4th, will be our next bank holiday. Let's see how the week is. Nothing to work with apart from a ridge, possibly over Western Russia, near Belarus, Ukraine. The temperature anomaly might tell us more it barely changes from week 3 to 4, actually. Just a bit above average. Let's see if this will tell us anything. Week 4, rainfall anomaly. Okay, so I think what happened is this ridge corresponds to dry anomalies through here, so probably going to have high pressure quite widely over southern and eastern Europe there. And what happened is the jet stream and the areas of low pressure will be going through northern and western areas of Europe there. Also, dry anomalies out southwest as well as high will be there. So probably just changeable and westerly. And it could be just that the model has lost signal and it's just going back to more of a default pattern there. By week 4. Week 5 is August 11th to 18th. Looking good, maybe. So we got a high pressure to our northeast towards Scandinavia and Russia. Could we bring in a hot easterly wind around that for week 5? Also, this area of white to our west will probably be an area of low pressure. And if it is, and it stays offshore, like well away, we could be in line there for a hot week 5. Long way off, but we're here to try and read the models. So week 5 temperature anomaly is a bit above average, but it does increase a bit in general in Western Europe there, I think. So probably going warmer. Let's see if it was drier. Yes, I think it does go a bit drier. Interestingly enough, there's no real dry anomalies where the pressure pattern's showing high pressure there. So, but I think, judging by these 3 anomalies there, that week 5 could be a drier, warmer, or hotter week. And week 6, finally, is August 18th to 25th. Here we go, it's the last week. Quite a nice signal, actually. So we have high pressure ridging in from the west, all the way across it, all the way from Canada across the Atlantic Ocean into Ireland, the UK. So probably going to be quite a nice week there for week 6. Week 6 temperature anomaly then. Really just a bit above average. Nothing much to say about that because everywhere's above average. So week 6 rainfall anomaly. But I'd say that if that comes off, it would be a warm week. And week 6 rainfall anomaly is dry on average. And the lows and the jet stream would be confined towards Greenland and Iceland as well. The jet stream going through there, lows over Iceland and Greenland. Hence the rainfall anomaly is being higher up there. Meanwhile, for the south, over Ireland, the UK, it's drier. So, we break down the hot spell, currently on Monday, obviously, as we know. Details of the storms are uncertain. We'll be covering that in a storm watch later on in the evening, after all the 12 Z runs come out. So keep an eye out for that later on. So it looks quite changeable and mixed if the ECM is correct for the rest of July. Quite warm, but quite mixed at the same time. Maybe some brief southwesterly southerly winds before we break things down. Late July, early August could be a bit cooler in general with more of a northwesterly airflow. There's also more displaced to the west and low pressures towards the east and north. And then into August itself, there are hints about 5 weeks away that we'll see more widespread high pressure building over Western and Northern Europe. And if that does come off, we'll be seeing a return to more prolonged warm and dry spells. So everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you later on. Enjoy the heat, enjoy the sunshine. Bye for now.